Stories from Facebook Marketplace. If you've followed me for any length of time, you know I have all kinds of junk. And I've acquired a lot of stuff by spending a lot of time on Marketplace and Craigslist. So sell a lot of stuff on Marketplace and Craigslist because when you buy a lot of stuff, eventually you run out of room and you gotta get rid of some of the stuff. Otherwise, women start talking about the yard looking like a junkyard, and apparently that's a bad thing. Kidding, I love you, babe. I've done this for a long time, and as a result, I've ran into just about every type of idiot you can run into on Craigslist and Marketplace. And there's a lot of them. But just when you think you've seen it all, the world surprises you. I had this kid message me a few days ago on a machine I'm asking $4,000 for and be like, hey, would you trade for this shitty Harbor Freight welder you can buy brand new for $1,000? I mean, he didn't say all that. He's like, hey, will you trade for this welder? It's really nice. Sure, it's nice for, the Harbor Freight lineup. Either way, it retails from the store at $1,000. But that's here nor there. You get dumb trade offers on Marketplace all the time. Definitely had people come up and be like, hey, I'm interested in your $20,000 diesel truck. Would you trade a 35-year-old snowmobile that's only been rolled 4 times and has been sitting in a swamp since 1996? I'll even throw in a weed whip. All it needs is a new motor and it should run good. So you get those things all the time, right? And the next day, the same kid offers to trade the same shitty welder for a different thing I have listed for even more money. And I'm like, come on, guys, stop asking to trade for a welder and some accessories people can buy brand new from Harbor Freight for $1,300 for stuff they're asking $5,000 for. Of course, then he proceeds to tell me why my stuff isn't worth what I'm asking, and I'll sit on it for another year, which is again not uncommon because people get all kinds of butthurt when nobody wants their junk that they think should be worth 5 times more than what it's actually worth. And normally I don't engage with these people past this point, but I was in a mood, and man, I'm glad I was. Like, maybe we'll sit around for another year. Turns out I'm not broke enough where I'm desperately trying to trade cheap Harbor Freight tools for shit I can't afford. But I'll sit here till I get tired of it or somebody gives me something I want for it. And he responds by saying, quote, I make more than you. And then this motherfucker sends me a screenshot of a Snapchat of his tax returns. Who fucking does that? Now, we hadn't discussed my personal financial situations, as I tend to not do that with random strangers from Facebook Marketplace, but he is very confident that his small service and repair business that grossed $165,000 in revenue was something impressive that is definitely more money than anybody he would be talking to on the internet has. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on that. I'm glad this kid has started his own business and is trying something, and I support that. But being the son of a small business owner who owns an excavating company and being self-employed myself, I'm well aware that gross revenue and what we actually put in our pockets are two very, very different things. $165,000 is 1 or 2 excavating jobs for our very small excavating company, and Dad is still very much broke. Anyway, I was like, did you really just send me your tax return? Because I was dumbfounded. I'm like, that is adorable that you're trying this hard. And homie's like, did you just call almost $200K adorable? I bet you work in a warehouse. Where did he come up with this shit? Is that what he was doing before he went out to work for himself and just assumes that that's what everybody does? I just bought 40 acres and I'm just starting to collect equipment and stuff. And then he sent me a picture of a 15-year-old Ford pickup to try to impress me some more and said that he made a bunch more money in cash. I don't know. I was just like, hey, congrats. I'm glad you got your 40 acres. I remember my first 40 acres. Just be careful how much crap you collect, because part of the reason I didn't sell it when I bought this 40 acres is because moving all the shit you pack ratted that you didn't need becomes a real pain in the ass, and nobody tells you that when you start pack ratting it. Anyway, he shut up after that, but who Snapchats their tax return and then sends it to random strangers on the internet? Who does that? It's not the flex you think it is. And if it was the flex you thought it was, you wouldn't be doing it, because people who have that kind of money don't like sharing their tax returns. And they don't have to flex with their tax returns because they can flex with their money, because they have the money and they're not trying to trade in Harbor Freight welders. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you, because it was a first for me, screenshots of a Snapchat of your tax returns to prove that you're not poor is definitely something I did not have on my Marketplace bingo card. Takes all kinds, I guess, to keep the internet interesting.